Hey, what's up, y'all? Congratulations.
Thank you.
Kara, can you kind of take us through that offensive rebound putback? You guys are trailing the entire second half until that point. Um, Kind of take us through that moment, and again, how you guys kind of refused to wave the white flag when you guys are kind of down in holes and could easily do so.
Yeah, I mean, I talked about this pregame. Like every game has been a new challenge, figuring out how to score offensively. We've been getting different schemes, and I think today was obviously playing small ball and figuring out how to score against that. And I mean, me and Slim in a pick and roll is easy money, and I slipped out, got the offensive rebound positioning. And I mean, the coaches were just telling me, I was upset about missing the one before, and he's told me I was going to be able to get it back. So just being able to keep my head up and finish knowing that nobody around me was really that tall. So
Nah, bro. They all NBA go.
they was literally, I was up, oh, nobody's here.
Slim after the game, I think Leah scooped you up and
Nah, it was Kiki.
oh, Kiki. Yes, I'm sorry. I got that wrong. Hope I wrote that right. Kiki scooped you up,
Mm.
spun you around. What does that moment mean, and what are you learning from this young group?
I mean, like I said, I think we call them kids, but like they're far from it. But they give you superpowers. Our rookies give us superpowers. Um, they feed you energy when you down. It's almost like they know that their big sister was sad or something. And like Coach had came over to me during the timeout, and Kiki was like, "Oh my God, Auntie, you're smiling." So, it's one of those things where I didn't even realize that that was, like my demeanor, and my teammates just holding me down, my coaches just holding me down, whatever whatever we want to call a rough patch that I was in. They never let me believe it. They never let me feel it. They always had confidence in me, and the byproduct of that is what we got today. And Kiki holding me up in the air is a byproduct of sticking through it and holding the faith that I'll get out of the slump.
And one for you, Sid. What, 27 points in the first half, 43 in the second. What did you find offensively coming out of halftime that you guys were able to kind of work better?
I want to take ownership. They're so coachable that I think they were almost trying to execute what we were looking to do too much, they're players, so they have good reads, but I think they've just been really coachable. So we had to, at halftime try to adjust a little bit of our looks and get a little bit more movement. And then kind of let those things that we thought might be there open up. And as Shakira said, like, they're a little bit smaller at times. And, I think we just kind of let that happen instead of, maybe being so pointed in terms of how we look to execute. So 6 turnovers in the second half was awesome. Great leadership from Slim. Great leadership. Suge was wonderful. Was almost turnover free into that very last play. So she gave us, great leadership as well. But that was more of it, just trying to loosen us up a little bit.
Cindy, kind of following up on that, you had that lineup that closed the third with Steph in it and started the fourth. What do you feel like that group was getting you as you kind of started coming back?
Yeah, no, I want to be mindful of Kira and Kiki. That we rely so heavily on them, and it's not like they're just out there not doing anything. So there's a lot of usage there, and take something out of them. And Aaliyah and Steph were just, I think, wonderful. Just backing them up, allowing us to continue to compete defensively and move the ball, allow us to have that flow. So I felt very comfortable and confident as they did, and you see they certainly helped us kind of steadily creep back in.
Did you get an explanation for that chaotic sequence that ended up with you guys ball 5 seconds left?
Yeah, not probably not sufficient enough for for us because we were losing our minds, but ultimately, like, they got it right. I'm not sure. I just it was confusing. It was confusing, but I'm just glad that they gutted out a few possessions there to kind of close it out. And yeah, I don't know what to say.
They didn't have a timeout.
Slim, for you, with about a little over a minute left, you had that tough two pretty early in the clock. I think it was like a little bit of a fadeaway.
And
Do
the
you
left
remember?
side
Yeah,
against Megan,
I don't remember. But
they That's probably the only shot
Yeah,
I
that
hit.
was probably
Yeah.
it. But you took it pretty quickly, pretty confidently. It was a tough shot. What was kind of going through your mind as you did that? What was kind of your confidence level, critical moment to be taking that?
That's I wasn't thinking, and I think that was the best thing about the possession. I think it also, since you were saying it was early in the clock, it went in. So it was a good shot. If we're being real, we got to go back and check the timestamp, but it went in, so it's good. But no, that's just one of those shots over my career that it just a no-brainer. It's a 2 dribble pull up, the big steps up, the big rolls. If it's no shot, it's definitely a dump down. But just taking that with confidence and knowing like, hey, it looked good and happened to go in.
Sydney, Sonia had 2 stops there at the end, first shutting down Chelsea Gray, forcing her to try and pass out of it, and then forced the miss on Jackie there in the last possession. Just for her being a stopper in those situations for you guys, like how big is it for her to step up in those moments where the game's on the line?
Big time. And I think as much as anything, like not fouling, there's veteran players, they're gonna, try to put some heat on you and get the officials to make a play. And she was wonderful in terms of moving her feet, not fouling, but also making that, not the easiest layup attempts. She's a legit two-way player. She's a little bit off offensively, still made all of her free throws, still played the right way, throwing the right passes and all that, but not quite had her flow, but really pours in to the defensive end, very much like Slim. So just really, really excited to see her compete on that end and not let her offense affect her in any way, shape, or form. And we're a little bit spoiled with that, but we're starting to expect that from her.
Kira, I know you've been guarded by shorter players before, but when you turn around, you have the ball and it's Chelsea Gray guarding you. What's going through your head on trying to attack that and facing up against her?
I mean, that's one of the most difficult matchups for a guard, honestly. Like Chelsea knows how to time your dribble. She knows how to time when you're trying to bounce and pound. Um, so she's really smart, obviously, as a vet. So you want to play at your speed, but you also know, like for me, that the double's coming off my counters. So um, it's tough, but at the end of the day, you just got to put the ball in the hole, get over her.
And last one's for Slim. You were talking to Ariana post game, just saying protecting home court. And I know this isn't fully your normal home court, but it seemed like the crowd tonight was really able to get into it. You guys were able to have a strong connection in this game. Can you just speak to the crowd here at this arena tonight?
I don't know, because when the Vegas Aces ran out, they were screaming.
They were.
We was a little confused.
Yeah.
Just a smidge.
They came back on the right side.
Yeah, they came back on the right side, but I just gotta say
They
that no
are
shade,
this.
no tea. But we kind of turned our heads to the crowd when they ran out. But I mean, obviously, yeah, like protecting home court, you want that home court advantage. You want the crowd to be involved. It's a really good game when you got the crowd on your side. And for us, when we got those stops, the room went electric. Like you could feel it, you get goosebumps because it prepares you for the moment, right? And the crowd is a part of that. And so when Sony got the rebound, she didn't even know the clock went off because the crowd was so loud for her getting the stop and she was dribbling down the court. But again, like it's just good to have our fans and be home and again protect home court.
Slim wanted to get
Yep.
okay. Slim wanted to get your thoughts about this run that you guys have been on these last couple games. You guys are back at the 500 mark. I think this is the latest that you guys have been back at the 500 mark since the 2023 season. Just can you talk more about what you've been seeing from this team that's been allowing you guys to kind of go on the run that you've been on these last couple weeks?
It was just 500 2 games ago. No? Oh, no, 4 games ago because we was eight.
Yeah.
Oh, just 20 games. Oh, okay. Say that again?
You're so worried about that.
Like, no, hold on, it was just 500.
I was trying to map it up, but what have you most been impressed by with this team and what they've been able to do over these last couple weeks?
Oh, I mean, we just stick to it. Like, it doesn't matter what the score is, whether we're up 20, down 20. We're going to play hard. We're going to play Mrs. Basketball. And Coach has helped us lay that foundation of just toughness and grit and just understanding that we will never back down. No matter how hard the punch is thrown, we'll punch back. And some days the punch might not be strong enough. But some days just know that the games where it's a tough one, it doesn't dictate us. Our bounce back does. So with all that, we just go out there and we play the name across our jerseys and represent on the back.
And Sydney, I asked you a question a couple days ago about, just what it's like, being back here in this arena. You guys played 2 games here. You guys won both. How'd you feel like the experience was overall?
No, it was great. I will echo what Slim said. We want the support of DMV for us. 100%. Although we know that it's a stage, a platform for the W, so we're mindful of that. And a lot of players, a lot of teams make up the league. But when we're home, to have people coming out and supporting us and giving them the love and recognition that they deserve in our backyard, it's wonderful. We've been in Baltimore, obviously DC, and now out here in Virginia, and people are showing up for us, and they should. They are. I mean, the Mystics are very, very worthy. These women are just doing a wonderful job of representing, putting their work in, being out in the community, the whole thing. So it's just like it's a good feeling, and we want to seize on that as much as we can.
Coach, I want to stay with you. You talked a little bit about what you didn't like in the first half, but I'm curious about your actual halftime process. So, when you get with your staff, how do you guys determine kind of, I guess, like the order of importance of what to talk to the players about? Do you guys show a film edit? Do you show any clips from the first half? How do you try to make that information digestible, especially like to a young group?
Yeah, super quick. I think everybody in the league, they'll show a few clips. We try to show some clips that are really important as the half is playing out, and just try to make the big picture adjustments. To give the players, one or 2 things to really zero in on both sides of the ball, and then get out there, get loose, and because you also have a full game plan that you want to be mindful of and not come up with all kinds of new. But so yeah, a few film clips, a few points, offense, defense, and let them know we're not going anywhere. All right, we're here for you. All right, we're gonna try to help you out. So let.
And then I want to ask, she only played 1 stint tonight, but with Emily's development kind of becoming more navigation, trying to get over screens when she is more used to being like a weak side defender, a shot blocker.
Yeah.
How is that part of her development coming?
Yeah, no, that's a great call out, and that is a jump that she has to make. That is not easy. All right, that's not easy. Just like smothering shooters and pick and roll defense, everything that you called out. So that's part of. But she's not only a wing. Okay, she's a 4-3. And so just as we're working through our roster, we're trying to make sure that we're trying to get her minutes. But honestly, that has been a growth area for her. It is new, and she's doing the best that she can.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Have a great night,
Yeah.
guys. Get home safe. Night night.